It's sort of in this same area where it came up to a blue trading zone, which is a heavy volume area, and it started to trade sideways and maybe is going to have a correction. And XRP did have that correction after it had a phenomenal from its swing low, which nobody gets. If they tell you they got it, they're lying to you. To the swing high was 69%. And then from the swing high after a 69% run to the swing low, we corrected 30% like we were just talking about. And every stock that moves up big, it has a big, usually 25 to 35% correction. Profit taking / retail traders get worried / people get caught going along on it when they're on margin, and then it has a correction and then they panic sell. And right at the time they do that is usually the time the market goes back to the upside, and that's what the XRP price did. But then it hit that 51 cents again. It came back down and is trading along the moving averages where you're currently at now. And the three questions now are, does it come all the way back down to 37, 38 cents? 1 penny, I believe that is 0.01, I believe is a cent, because 0.10 would be 10 cents. I believe that is a penny. And then it collapsed on itself. And will this ever get back up here? I'm not sold on that. Could we have a bear market rally? Something like this? Absolutely. But what I think is more likely is this coin is just going to be more. Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing. Subscribe, bell notification, comment down below, and most importantly, like that channel to get that education and information you need to fleece, heist, and shiest the market manipulators and the aforementioned criminal gangsters that have infiltrated the United States federal government, banking system, and world leaders around the world, and gold and silver bullion market, as well as the cryptocurrency sphere. You got to stay 33.5 steps ahead of these shysters and fleecers. And that's what we're here to help you do with this education. And the game of swing trading, day trading, or long-term holds, what pays the most money, and how do you do it? Well, if you look at the chart here, we started this account with $8,100 back in 2021. It's risen as high as 11,400 and change, and then it's dipped as low as 5,580 or so, and now it's rallied back up to $9,156.88. And that is with long-term holds and a little bit of in and out trading that I do on the side when I feel like there's a good opportunity to make some extra money, because this is primarily a gold holding account. But we do, like we were in Rivian and we're up a good $1,000. We like to add the stats to some of this money while we're waiting for our gold to really mature and materialize and give us those 5 or 10 baggers that I think are going to be in there. But the long-term hold has its benefits, because when the daily market fluctuations and the quarterly and yearly fluctuations in the individual sectors that you may own go up or go down, and more importantly, when they go down, you're not panic selling and panic buying, and you're just there. Even though our account went from 11,400 in April of 2022 and then went down to $5,580 in September 23, 2022. And about a half a year later, we didn't lose any of that money because we didn't sell anything. It was just down. And then you can see from the low point at 5,300 on September the 26th of 2022, almost a year ago, the account has just about doubled in value. We're up about, I wish it would show you the percentage, but we're up about 80%. From the $5,500 low to our $9,100 current market value. And the only reason I'm showing you that, I don't show you a lot of the trading that I do because it's really not relevant to our discussions here, because I feel like that's just more to get people to try to buy whatever kind of nonsense you're selling to the individual trader or the people that are watching you by showing your account. But I wanted to show you that because it does play a huge role in and how you hold the stocks, because you need to hold stocks to collect dividends if your stocks pay dividends, and in order to get that valuation and that long-term return. Because on any stock, I can show you that have pumped 300% from their lows recently. In the middle of those 300% runs, they've all corrected at times 30 to 40% in the middle of a 300% run. And if you're trying to time the market, if you're trying to trade in and out of it, it's going to be a problem. And more times than not, you end up down versus up, or you end up leaving money on the table because you were trying to hit that buy and hit that sell. at certain times, and the best strategy is just to know what you own and to keep buying if you think you know where the price is going over the long term, 3 to 5 to 10 years. And when they present buying opportunities, you just buy more into your position. You don't really care about the day-to-day fluctuation in the price if you understand what you own and you're comfortable with leaving money like that. I put that $8,000 on there 3 years ago because whether the price went up or down, I don't need that $8,000 in that account. So I don't really care what it does on a day-to-day basis. I only care where it's at the end of my trading into those companies, and I feel good about them while I collect dividends. And it's very important to understand that. And you can still see the Bitcoin price is in this nice rally that we've had since our swing low back here, and it started about the early winter time. We bottomed out on a nice flush. Then we had a little rounding bottom, and now we've had a nice run to the upside in this rising channel that we're looking at right here. And the question is, do we get up to this $39,211 and $32 like the blue track indicates, or do we come down more into where this green track indicates and get closer to that $19,107 as the stock market has bounced back from their bear market lows from 2022 into the beginning of this year? The gold and silver market has bounced back pretty nicely. The tech sector, the EV sector is starting to bounce. The only thing that really hasn't bounced is the crypto sphere, right? Some of these coins have went up some percentage, but they're still way down. Bitcoin's definitely led the pack in returning to the upside. You can see coming up a good 20 to 130%. Let's see. 100%-ish, maybe a little bit more, 110%. So it's really led the pack. A lot of the altcoins haven't come back yet, right? The volume is still something that you got to pay attention to. If we look at the all-time volume in the chart, you can see we actually did peak in volume back here and the mean of the volume in January of this year. And now the volume on this last run, and the thing that makes me a little nervous is you can see in this last run up, the volume's been going down. So the price is leading volume. The volume's not leading price. You would like to see the price, the volume, to be leading the price, aka a la the volume trends up, the price trends up with it, because that means there's new money and new buyers coming in. Right now, the volume is drastically declining as the price goes up, which tells me there isn't any new money in here. It's just money shuffling around from a coin back to Bitcoin, or some short sellers covering. So that's something that you do need to take note of, and that's something that I'm absolutely watching out for in the daily cryptocurrency technical analysis, as we're looking to see if we're going to go up to a new all-time high soon, up to 66,000, maybe go up for a phenomenal, glorious, fantastic triple top, right? 1, and then that would be 2 and 3. Or if this is really just a bear market rally like we've been touting this whole time, where we have a max potential of around 39,000 and change. As we move along into the XRP price, we can see the XRP price is quite similar to the Bitcoin price. It's had a nice rally from its bear market bottom back here. So far, the bear market bottom, and that was, let's move that up there. That was in August of 2022. Then we stabilized into this trading pattern that we were in, which was a symmetrical triangle. We got bullish right here to get up into this blue trading range with a minimum target of around 51 cents. And then we were going to look for a correction, which we had. Just like if you look at Rivian, where it's at now, it's sort of in this same area where it came up to a blue trading zone, which is a heavy volume area, and it started to trade sideways and maybe is going to have a correction. And XRP did have that correction after it had a phenomenal from its swing low, which nobody gets. If they tell you they got it, they're lying to you. To the swing high was 69%. And then from the swing high after a 69% run to the swing low, we corrected 30% like we were just talking about. And every stock that moves up big, it has a big, usually 25 to 35% correction. Profit taking / retail traders get worried / people get caught going along on it when they're on margin, and then it has a correction, and then they panic sell. And right at the time they do that is usually the time the market goes back to the upside, and that's what the XRP price did. But then it hit that 51 cents again. It came back down and is trading along the moving averages where you're currently at now. And the 3 questions now are, Does it come all the way back down to 37, 38 cents? Or does it take the north route and start to trade and grab some bullishness? The volume comes in and we hit that 68 cents, like the 39,000 Bitcoin price. Or does this trade jaggedy, trade down, trade within a range, and eventually break down, because this is nothing more than a bear market rally like I think it is in all these coins? Only time will tell. Only the future price action knows what the future price will be by the time we go from the present to the future. And all we can do is analyze the price and what we think is actually going on. And again, one of the things that concerns me with XRP is if you're not paying attention to this, you're not paying attention. You see the volume here. You had your max volume and influx into the coin back in the 16 and 17 bull market. Then you crashed. Then on the next major run up, the volume was substantially less than it was. And the mean got close, but the actual volume was less. You can see it's trending down. And I feel like on this next run, when you get the volume spike in, it's going to look something like that, where it's lower volume to lower volume to lower volume. And I think that's signifying how you can see the price here and then slightly lower high here. And I think on the next bull market, I think you might be looking something like this in XRP by the time the big bull market's done. But that's to be determined. Could the price shoot up to all-time highs? It's possible. Does it go to 10,000? Absolutely not. There's no feasible way for this coin to go to 10,000. I know some of you won't like to hear that. $10, I believe, is a pipe dream too. $5, I think, would also be a pipe dream. What I could see more likely to happen is after you settle wherever your bear market ends, I could see a nice run up into the dollar or somewhere, maybe even approaching that $2 level again. But I think it's going to be very hard in the future to break away from these all-time highs, especially the one back here from 2017. And that's a long, long time ago. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 years ago. And the price is significantly less than it was then. And all these stations were telling you by now, when we were back here in 2021, that by 23, we were going to be way up here, somewhere between $4 and $8. That obviously didn't happen. And old VINCENZO'S been on top of this for you the entire way, because that's what I'm here for. I'm not looking for the hype. I'm not looking for the hopium. I'm not looking for the subscribers to subscribe because I'm telling them what they want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. The same thing with H-bar. I was told this was the next high flyer. And you can see at current price, it's nearing an all-time low in the coin. And from the top to the bottom, it's only down 58%. So I think there's a big downside to come here, as I think you're going to trade way down here somewhere into the future. Could you have a bear market rally in the short term? Absolutely, something like that. But I believe this will go much, much lower, because there really is no use case or utility besides the fact that they say what they all say. They're a peer-to-peer network, blah, 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 blah. It's just one of another 10,000 coins. DGB is really struggling to rally. It's attempting to try to rally, but DGB is another one that's been beaten down from its all-time high of nearly what is that, 2 cents, 10 cents up there, if you can, no, 1 penny. I believe that is 0.01, I believe is a cent, because 0.10 would be 10 cents. I believe that is a penny. And then it collapsed on itself. And will this ever get back up here? I'm not sold on that. Could we have a bear market rally? Something like this? Absolutely. But what I think is more likely is this coin is just going to be more or less in the future trading somewhere down there versus anywhere up there, right? Even in the next hype cycle, if there is another hype cycle, you never know. If there will be, you can only hope, pray, educate, and then see what happens, right? The same thing with the ZIL. It's getting collapsed. It had a nice little run here, got rejected, and if we get a harsh rejection, you could end up very quickly in ZIL down to 0.00258. SoFi, we know, is a big pile of shit. The same thing when it was pumping there. We told you it would sell it all back, because this thing is on its way to zero, and it's getting pretty damn close, as it went from $6 all the way to 3 cents, right? That's a 99.99% crash, and it will never come back. CeeLo is also another one that's going to go below a penny on its next major dump. I believe it could get near a penny or below, but this thing will go below a penny. I have made no secret about CLO was junk. Took a bunch of flack. People still ask me why I don't think it's any good. Simple. It's down 95.74%, and there's no use case, there's no utility, and there's no tangible product that they sell that people need. It's just another coin in the coin sphere, and that is all that there is. And to there, like, subscribe, and share to this beautiful station with my beautiful audience. I say this with great gratitude and appreciation. Peace and love to this beautiful audience.